You think the disappearance of the Maya civilization is what the textbooks say? Drought, war, or disease. Stop. All these explanations may be built upon a massive misunderstanding. Because not long ago, scientists used airplanes equipped with LiDAR to penetrate the canopy of the Guatemalan rainforest. The result? A Maya world that completely overturned our understanding emerged. Beneath this jungle that we thought had long been desolate, lay hidden more than 61,000 previously unseen architectural structures, pyramids, palaces, and even an entire highway network stretching over 177 kilometers, connecting hundreds of cities into a vast super empire. This was not a vanished civilization. It was a colossal giant hidden by the jungle. For the past century, our archaeological discoveries were likely just the tip of the iceberg. This has divided the archaeological world into two camps. One side consists of traditional scholars who insist on textbook theories. They believe the Maya were merely a loose alliance of city-states. The other side are scientists holding disruptive new data. They point out that what we are facing may have been a super empire with a population of tens of millions, whose level of organization was comparable to ancient China. How could such a massive civilization collapse completely within just 200 years? So thoroughly that even its highways were forgotten for thousands of years. Today, I will take you deep into the epicenter of this archaeological storm, tracing the astonishing evidence hidden by the jungle. This civilization we thought we understood. Just how many unheard-of secrets are still buried within it? Its collapse. Was it really because of those old and tired explanations? Or was there something hidden behind it? To unravel the mystery of this empire's fall, we cannot just look at its skeleton. We must listen to its heartbeat, understand its thoughts. And all the answers are carved into those stones that have been silent for millennia. For a long time, these mysterious symbols were believed to be undecipherable religious drawings, until one person appeared and completely changed everything. Behind this was an academic war that took place under the shadow of the Cold War. At that time, a Western authority named Thompson controlled the discourse. He asserted that these symbols were merely undecipherable mystical drawings. But on the other side of the Iron Curtain, a Soviet linguist named Knorozov used a simple set of materials to find the key to breaking the code. When his method was finally proven correct, the entire Western academic world fell silent. Because once the stones began to speak, they told not myths, but a blood-soaked history of imperial warfare. The most shocking among them was a superpower struggle that lasted more than a century, a clash between two major protagonists in this epic, the giant southern city-state Tikal, and to the north, the fearsome Snake Dynasty, led by the city of Calakmul. The Snake Dynasty, also known as the Khan Dynasty, was an exceptionally warlike regime in the Maya world. Their royal emblem was a roaring serpent tongue. Through the decoding of stela inscriptions, archaeologists pieced together, like a puzzle, the Snake Dynasty's terrifying strategy. They did not launch direct attacks on the powerful Tikal, but adopted a far more lethal approach, using diplomatic marriages and military alliances to construct a massive encirclement around Tikal. They first supported Karakol to the east, then Piedras Negras to the west, step by step, like a giant constricting python, continuously tightening its own coil of death. In the year 562 AD, the moment had come. The allied forces of the Snake Dynasty launched a decisive attack on Tikal. In Maya inscriptions, the symbol recording this war is a special Star War glyph, a symbol representing that the starlight of a kingdom was extinguished, its ruling dynasty brought to an end. That year, Tikal's king was defeated and most likely sacrificed. After this victory, the once invincible Tikal fell into a 130-year period of historical interruption. During this century-long era, the city hardly built any new monuments. For a civilization that relied on the constant construction of temples and stelae to display the king's power, such silence was no different from publicly declaring submission. But the story did not end there. In the year 682 AD, a king named Chichén Itzá I ascended the throne of Tikal. He spent decades gathering strength, waiting for a moment of revenge. In the year 695 AD, He led Tikal's great army and proactively marched against the capital of their old enemy, the Snake Dynasty, Calakmul. This time, fate reversed. He achieved a sweeping victory and captured the king of the Snake Dynasty. The core of Maya warfare was not land conquest, but the capture of the enemy king. Because in their worldview, a king was the divine incarnated on earth. Capturing and sacrificing the enemy king was the gravest blow to the spirit and cosmic order of an entire city-state. To commemorate this epic revenge, Chichén Itzá constructed an immense structure in the central plaza of Tikal that still stands today, Temple 1. This towering pyramid was both his tomb and also a monument announcing to the entire Maya world the triumphant return of a king. This generations-long bloody conflict raises a deeper question. This kind of endless internal struggle aimed at completely destroying the enemy royal family and its beliefs inflicted what degree of harm on the foundations of Maya civilization? The answer to this question lies hidden within the Maya's understanding of the universe and life itself. An understanding that is far more ancient and far more blood-soaked. To understand why the Maya were so devoted to war and sacrifice, we must look toward an even earlier age. In 2001, archaeologist William Saturno at the San Bartolo site in Guatemala, almost by sheer luck, discovered murals hidden inside a small chamber. These murals were created around 100 BC and are the earliest known images of Maya creation mythology. At their core, they depict the story of the most important deity in Maya mythology, the maize god. Yet the most unsettling and most crucial scene in the mural shows the way the gods created the world. The gods hold obsidian blades or bone spikes, piercing their own bodies, letting the blood drip down. In the Maya view of the cosmos, blood, especially the sacred royal blood, was not a symbol of death, but the energy of creation, the essential fuel that keeps the universe running. This self-sacrificial bloodletting ritual was the highest offering to the gods. This discovery provides the philosophical background for the seemingly brutal acts of violence seen in the Maya classic period. The kings and queens' regular public bloodletting rituals were a way to show the people that through their own blood, they could secure blessings for the entire city-state. This also explains why the core of warfare was capturing nobles and kings. Because sacrificing the ruler of an enemy kingdom could release divine energy far beyond that of ordinary captives. However, this belief system centered on creating life through bloodshed was also like a double-edged sword. When a king's rule was challenged, for example during prolonged drought, in order to prove his legitimacy to the gods and the people, he might take even more extreme sacrificial measures, an extremization of this belief. At another, far more famous site, Chichén Itzá, this received the most terrifying confirmation. For the massive sacrificial cenote of Chichén Itzá had long been considered the entrance to the dwelling place of Cha'ak, the Maya rain god. Underwater archaeologists found a vast amount of human remains and precious offerings at the bottom. But until recently, a new study using ancient DNA technology revealed the chilling secret behind this millennia-old ritual, a secret that sent shivers down the spine. In June 2024, a paper published in Nature released the genetic analysis results from an underground cave in Chichén Itzá, containing 64 remains. Scientists originally thought these offerings were mostly girls, but DNA evidence showed that every single victim, without exception, was a boy. What was even more shocking was that at least 1/4 of the boys were closely related. The most crucial discovery was, scientists identified 2 pairs of identical twins. This discovery was like a key, instantly unlocking the deeper logic of the ritual. It pointed directly to the Maya's foundational mythological epic, the Popol Vuh. In this myth, a pair of brothers known as the Hero Twins defeated the death gods of the underworld and ultimately ascended to the sky, becoming the sun and the moon. Therefore, twins were given immense sacred meaning in Maya culture. At Chichén Itzá, the sacrifice of twin boys was not an act of random violence, but an elaborately planned ritual intended to reenact the ultimate myth. When facing overwhelming survival crises, Maya priests may have believed that by sacrificing the most sacred offerings, they could speak directly to the source of the myth, thus saving their world. This discovery forces us to reconsider the reasons behind the Maya collapse. If a civilization's belief system had reached the point of requiring systematic sacrifice of its own children to keep functioning, then the internal social pressure and spiritual despair may have already reached a threshold we can hardly imagine. And this empire's age and power far exceeded what we imagined. In 2020, a construction complex larger than the Giza pyramids, Aguada Phoenix, was discovered. Its history dates back to 1000 BC, proving that the Maya's mega-civilization model had existed from the very beginning. This leads us to the core contradiction. A massive empire with tens of millions of people, strong organizational capacity, and the ability, since its inception, to build super-scale projects. What exactly did it experience that triggered a system-wide avalanche-like chain reaction? The answer may lie hidden in the recordings from deep within the Earth, records that never lie. Another science, paleoclimatology, through extremely delicate methods, helped us discover that final straw that crushed this enormous empire. Scientists extended their probes into the Yucatan Peninsula, into those deep underground caves. In these environments, the remaining water droplets on the cave ceiling have condensed on the ground over thousands of years into stalagmites. These stalagmites are like a natural historical archive, faithfully recording, during their growth, the climate changes of each year. By analyzing the ratios of oxygen isotopes in different sediment layers of the stalagmites, scientists can accurately reconstruct the amount of rainfall on the surface. When this data curve was plotted, the result was chilling. The data shows that during the late Classic Maya period, that is, from around AD 800 to AD 1000, the entire Central American region experienced a series of unprecedented extreme drought events. This was not a short-term drought, but a super drought that lasted nearly 200 years. During this period, at least 4 severe, years-long, and even decade-long mega-droughts occurred. Studies show that in certain years, annual rainfall plummeted by as much as 70% compared to normal levels. This doomsday code preserved in stalagmites almost perfectly corresponds to archaeological evidence. The construction of monuments and carving of stelae in the once prosperous Maya southern lowland cities began to sharply decline after AD 800, and by around AD 900 had completely stopped. This indicates that after the drought began, the political and religious systems that sustained Maya society started to rapidly fail. Kings could no longer use traditional bloodletting and sacrificial rituals to summon rain. Their sacred aura gradually faded. The social contract collapsed. When the first major drought arrived, the city reservoirs dried up, cornfields cracked, and famine began to spread. When repeated rituals failed to bring rainfall, the people's faith began to waver. Social order collapsed. People began to flee those once magnificent, but now water-scarce, stone-built cities. So the Maya civilization did not mysteriously vanish. More accurately, the classic Maya model, centered on kings and based on large stone cities as carriers of society, ultimately collapsed under multiple internal and external pressures. It fell apart. Continuous wars had already drained national power. Runaway ritualistic beliefs drove society to extremes. Explosive population growth and environmental overexploitation pushed the entire system to the brink of collapse. And the super drought was like a fuse. It ignited all the conflicts already in place. The Maya did not vanish from Earth. Many of them survived, but they abandoned their grand cities, and the form of their civilization underwent an irreversible transformation. The story of the Maya is ultimately not about a lost people, but a final prophecy about the fragility of civilization itself. It shows us how a highly developed society, brilliant in astronomy, mathematics, and art, could, due to war, beliefs, environmental pressures, and its own complexity, collapse step by step, and ultimately be reclaimed by the very jungle it once conquered. So what do you think was the final straw that broke this super empire? Was it endless civil war and bloody sacrifice? A civilization rotting from within? Or the nearly 200-year super drought, an empire erased mercilessly by nature? Leave your answer. Was it internal collapse or external disaster? Let's see how many people stand with you among the ruins of history, searching for the same answer. This is the Mystery Files channel. See you in the next episode. See you next time.